probably just going to be engaging with us in the spring. They're just feeling really overwhelmed right now. And as I always tell you guys, like, that's fine, it's your business, and I can't force them to be here. So I think we all feel like maybe they should be here, but that's okay. I think their lesson is a good lesson for everybody to just, sometimes you can't just do and be busy. It can really be detrimental when you're not picking your head up and really thinking strategically about, oh, Stein is starting something new called Test Drive.
Oh, do you not wish to be paying anymore?
No, sir.
Okay.
Something new.
That's right.
So Blue Penguin, and then I've also not really been hearing from Prime Hydration. They've kind of been missing out, so I've reached out to them and asked what's going on. I think they were like going up to University of Wyoming to try to sell. They got inventory of some bottles, like the with the Wyoming like horse guy, cowboy,
Horse
cowboy
guy.
logo? Horse guy.
Horseman boy.
Horse boy.
Horse boy.
So hopefully we'll hear some really good feedback. I really wanted them to be here tonight to give us some feedback about how all that went. But I'm reaching out to them as well. I think they're also feeling a little bit stressed out. You guys all have tests going on right now, right? It's now like testing time. Yeah, which really sucks. I'm so sorry. Thanks for being here, even though you guys all have tests going on right now. So really quick, I just wanted to show you guys. Can you go back to the Google Drive just real quick? Oh, it's here. So in Venture Accelerator, go into Venture Accelerator. So then we made this little, okay, so this folder right here is called Session Notes and Resources. We're getting a lot of you guys saying like, oh, I've tried this, or I've tried that, or I'll get an article from somebody, it's like, can you share this with the cohort? So this is where I'm putting all of that stuff. So like program resources, we put a lot of notes in here, like, I think last time like Liam Paul mentioned like mock-ups, and then like Stein kind of mentioned a couple things like Facebook surveys. So all of that kind of stuff that's just getting mentioned just like as a general all-purpose sort of tools and resources, we're putting them in this, we're just like keeping a running tab in here. So that anything that's mentioned in the sessions, you guys can also go back and Mark's keeping notes right here too. This was an article that was sent to me today by somebody that said she wanted to share it with you guys. Basically just talks a lot about how business models have really transformed, especially in tech, but like how business models have really transformed, and thinking about why did MP3 players not work, but then once Apple did it, it did work, and like how did they do that? And because the point of that argument is iPad plus iTunes made a complete business model, whereas just an MP3 player wasn't enough to really transform that business model for like music, but iTunes plus iPods, that's really what did it. So it's just an interesting article. It's like a 15-page article. So, but I think just skimming kind of through it is just a good indicator of like what we're talking about with like integrated business models. So it was just an interesting article. So I just wanted to show that to you guys really quick. Mark, go back to Venture Accelerator really quick. Sorry, that's the name. I think that's pretty much the biggest thing. And of course, all of the presentations that we are uploading into the session presentations folder. So anything that Mark's doing, anything that any of our coaches are doing, we're making sure that it's all in here so you guys have access to all of those. Go back to the second part. I think that's pretty much it. And then of course any prep work that we're getting is all in that prep work folder right there too. So like this is like the couple of the things that like Louise Feldman handed out. I got her to send them to me in digital format so you guys have access to all that stuff. Let's see, co-founders. So Ayush actually emailed me, and I didn't answer his email back, so I just wanted to address this for everybody. So Ayush is asking me about a potential co-founder, and like he knows what he's looking for, and he's asked me if I know anybody. This is like classic question. So the answer is no, I probably don't. But the suggestions I would give you guys is the best thing you could possibly do if you're looking for a co-founder, in my opinion, is write a job description. Like, and it doesn't have to be this like full, complete, like 2-page job description. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like the 5 to 10 bullet points of what it is that you need this person to do. What are they, like, what skill sets do they have? What kind of and you're like, they do X, Y, and Z, and they complement my skills in this way, and they're gonna be doing such and such for the company, then that's a little bit easier than I'm a true believer in like manifesting reality. So if you really know those like 5 to 10 bullet points that you're looking for in a co-founder, guaranteed you'll be able to find somebody because you know exactly what you're looking for. And then you also know who you're not looking for. So it's not like Aish just needs somebody. That's not the thing. It's not like you need another hot body. You need somebody that's actually doing something and contributing to the whole. So it's really important that you know who that person is and exactly what they look like. So, and then if you were to send me something like that, then I could say, then I could like maybe forward that on. So if it's marketing person, right, you ask market research. So if I have something that's like market research, okay, well then I can maybe send that out to some marketing professors and say, I have a student that's looking for somebody that kind of fits these skill sets, and then they can forward it on, right? So, and I don't want to put words into your mouth. When you send me, I want to be able to push back out there in your own words. So that's just a suggestion when you're kind of looking around for co-founders. Great ways to do that is all through your networks. As you guys probably have already determined, Leah and Paul know this, it's like a business partner is like more than just like a life partner. There's a business partner, like you do everything with them. So you better be sure it's the right person that you want to get involved with. Otherwise, that situation will lead you down really bad way. Right, Paul and Leah?
I was told a couple weeks ago that she would fire me.
I said, oh, there you went, Mario! Worked out well.
And it worked out well, good.
We didn't fight the rest of the night.
Yeah. It was over now.
So it's just really important, I think, that you're kind of making these acquaintances, like getting really clear about what you want to and working this through your networks and your own acquaintances, because I don't know, I always equate it to like, I wouldn't let somebody live in my house unless like there was somehow somebody that I know knows them. Because there's this sort of like acquaintance thing, this like social responsibility that like your network and your community can tend to put around people. And it's just good to get to know somebody in that way. So that's probably the best thing that you can use to really like find those people. But also 1 million cups, new tech meetups, those kinds of things are a good way to find co-founders too.
And then
There's
there's,
actually a couple websites.
yeah,
Oh,
co-founders lab.
co-founders.
There's Co-Founders Lab and
Co-founders Lab, that's the one I was
Right.
thinking, yeah, right.
there's a couple of those, but it really, you want to be really clear in what you're looking for, and I think it's almost like a job description. And that way you just got things to hand, but it is all about getting out of the building and networking. It's the same way, you know.
But then if you have that job description, you always know what it is that you're really asking for. So the social media profiles I told you guys too about, so Riley sent that to you, that little profile sheet. Has anybody else, so I think Sadquest filled it out. Has anybody else filled it out? She just wants to make sure that somebody else hasn't filled it out and she hasn't gotten it. Okay. Would it actually be easier for you guys to just chat with Riley one-on-one instead of filling out that little profile thing? Would that be an easier way to do this?
Maybe.
Probably.
It's just I'm trying to make time. It's not that it's not important. It's just I have things that were due yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's
Yeah.
why mine's.
That makes sense. So I'm wondering too if now is maybe not the best time, like maybe later in the semester, but if it's easier, like Riley can just sit down and chat with you for like 15 minutes. I told her, that's like usually what's better for me too. I have a really hard time making time for stuff like that, but if it's on my calendar and she's gonna talk to me about it, then I'm like, great, that's great, and I'll just get it worked out then. And then, is that easier? She's like, she can do anything that
I
works
can
for
do
you
both,
guys.
really. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more
I'll
likely
just
to
have her
do
reach out to you guys and you guys can just like set up like 15, 20 minutes. It shouldn't take more than like 10, 15 minutes, but sometimes it's just easier to have that conversation. Okay, great, we'll do. Mentors. I've gotten lots of feedback from mentors lately. So I just wanted to check in and ask you guys how things are going with mentors. And you can tell me, are you not meeting with your mentors? Are you meeting with your mentors? Are they only meeting with one and the other one's not responsive? How's that going?
We haven't met Jerry yet, actually.
You haven't met with Jerry, but I did hear
Yeah,
from Jerry.
We've been emailing back and forth,
Okay.
but some of that's probably on us.
It just seems like there's some scheduling,
Yeah.
just
it's been tough.
busyness.
Like he can't ever do Mondays. And yeah, I don't know. He's
Just
on the
scheduling issues.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. You guys,
We've been able to meet with her pretty regularly. I mean,
Okay.
I think only twice or once we've had a conflict where one couldn't meet. And we decided as a group to wait because we kind of needed to hear the input from one of them.
Okay.
So we, postponed it for a week, but overall they've been pretty responsive.
You meet with both at the same time?
Yeah.
So you're meeting both at the same
Yeah.
time?
That's what I would
Every week?
recommend.
Yeah.
Every week?
Yeah, we do a Zoom call because they're
Okay.
in different parts of Denver and,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, cool, yeah.
every week,
We didn't do one last week,
right.
you went out of town.
Okay. Okay, and I think that's fine, like every once in a while it's fine, but like regular contact should, like
Yeah.
most of the time you guys are meeting weekly, like that's
Yep.
good, okay.
Yep.
Caitlin, how's it going?
Very well, yeah. Sasha's been in Russia, so I've been trying to connect, but our time zones have been kind of off.
Uh-huh,
And then Natalie and I have been keeping in contact, she's helping me find resources.
okay,
I just like to make sure that I'm prepared when I meet with them,
We
so
were
that
just going
I
to
don't
just
waste
details.
their time and
Both
things like that.
of
And so they, we build a great relationship.
okay. Are you meeting with them separately or together?
Always.
Probably
So,
separately.
yeah, separately only because so far, they've just been in different cities most of the
Okay.
time. Sasha lives in Philly.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so we're just still trying to get our rhythm down now that they're both back in Colorado and things, but, Natalie
Okay.
doesn't go out of town, so it's just kind of, I mean, I'm talking to both of them, it's just sometimes not like it sometimes.
yeah, right, okay, that's good to know. And then, and you guys Rich, how many times have you guys been able to meet? A couple times? Cause you said you've been quite
I've been
busy
really,
lately.
really busy, so I've been letting these guys down. Shame on me, right?
Now's the time to call you out. Pick it up, Rich. Okay. Stein, have you been meeting with Eric and Ed?
I've met with Eric once, and Ed and I kind of had some hard times meeting up at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of that does also fall on me, that I haven't been extremely proactive about trying to meet with them, so that's something I need to step up.
Yeah, it really is on you to schedule with them, and if it's better to meet with them separately because schedules just don't allow, then meet with them separately.
Mhm.
Meet with them on the phone, have a phone call, it's 10 minutes. It really helps just to be able to connect with them, and they're a lot busier than you are.
Yeah.
I know that's crazy to think about, but it's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Anna, how's it been going?
Good. I mean, I meet with Grace every week, and Chris, we've missed 1 or 2 meetings, but we try to keep at least every other. So
Okay.
we usually try to switch off, but it
Yeah.
ends up I see Grace anyways,
Right,
so
okay.
I end up just kind of chatting with her for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How's it been going with you guys? You guys are meeting separately still, right?
We've been doing like, we'll meet with one and then we'll do both and then one and then that makes sense, so like,
Yeah.
basically on and off, like, we don't know, Janice and Tyler, Janice and Tyler, Janice.
So how's that going?
It's going well.
Is that going better?
Yeah, it's going
Okay,
well.
good.
This week is the first week we're not meeting with anyone, because everyone's like out of town, but
Okay.
you guys are meeting, and then it's kind of just been like what do we need? Do we need both Janice and Tyler at this meeting? We just need Janice's expertise, we just need Tyler's,
Okay.
we just scheduled Tuesdays at 5.
Yeah. So like,
All the way
we just have like a consistent rate. for, like,
Yeah,
the rest
that
of the
sounds good.
semester. Yeah.
That feels better. You know, and that's actually a good idea, like a consistent date may really help. Like Stein, if you're having a hard time kind of doing the back and forth, if you guys can just set a time and date that works for you, then it could be somebody can't make it once or twice, but it's better to have consistently scheduled meeting, and then you just always have it on the books. And then there's like exceptions to the rule as opposed to you always are having to do it every single week. That definitely helps. I know, for me, being a business person, that really helps.
Yeah.
So that's a solution. So SideQuest was actually having an issue with when they would meet with both mentors at the same time, they just kind of weren't getting anywhere. It was just feeling like it wasn't having enough progress. Now that they've been meeting with just one or the other, it's been feeling like more like you're making actual progress.
Yeah, and the meetings where we have both at the same time, it's kind of like going over kind of where we're at basically, so like kind of catching up the other mentor and then like, and then giving us advice on like where we should go from there.
Okay, good.
That's what we can do.
So I think that it's really up to whatever works for you guys well. I think that probably like Matt and Brooke probably work pretty closely together, like they're both kind of in the same industry and they probably work really closely together, but you know, other people may or may not. I know Rich just broke something. Rich and Jerry are both really, really busy people, and I don't think Jerry lives here. I'm not sure. Rich definitely doesn't live here. So sometimes it's just sometimes easier to just meet separately, and that could be easier. But like I said, even if it's just a Google Hangout, it's better than nothing. Aish, how's it going? You can, your mentors can both cover their ears.
Yeah, it's going great, like we are in frequent contact with the business,
Okay.
3 times a week, so.
Okay, good. Awesome. Do you meet with both mentors together or separate?
No, we generally have telephonic conversations like a conference call.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think Dean was on vacation for 2 weeks, I was in frequent conversation with Jim,
Uh-huh.
but now it's good, like.
So just to clue you in on my conversations with your mentors, one of the things that we're really trying, and I think I told you guys this, is we've never, well, that's not true, we've done one time before that we did like 2 mentors per team. But really the intention was to try to give your mentors also that flexibility, because they're all busy people. If they're out of town or if they're in Russia or something, then you have that other person that can help you as well. And so if somebody's out of pocket for a bit, then it really helps the other mentor. So that's also an intention, that's the intention. All right, we're gonna do updates. Who's up? Who's up?
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Nope. I went last week.
Did you go last week?
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, I could talk, but I'm not,
This
here
is-
for that.
I know, but this is.
Jess, can I say one thing about the meetings,
Yes.
while you guys figuring that out? One thing that I found that's been helping, we just barely have started doing this, is because kind of like you guys were saying, so much of the time was sort of spent on recap of what's going on in class, is that if I send them like a, what do you call it, like an itinerary, agenda of what we're gonna talk about, then they seem to they're more likely to let me lead the thing and ask the questions. If I don't send them that, it's more of like just a crapshoot of like, well, how's it going? And then we get things done, but I leave going, oh crap, I forgot to ask them this, or I didn't get as much out of it. For what it's worth, it may or may not help you, but it's been helpful, because they seem to understand the summary and what I need from them. So when we talk, it's more done.
We're doing that, like, when we remember, basically, to
Yeah.
like send them one.
Do you find that it helps too?
Definitely, yeah, because then they kind of prepare to, like,
Right.
what information they have to share that's valuable, because if you just throw something at them, they may not be prepared to, like, answer right away.
Yeah.
But if you, like, let them know ahead of time, they have more.
Yeah.
And then I have like a mentor drive, so I made a drive for my mentor, so I share like the notes that I took this week and how they applied to me, so I do a little prep work, and then I share like what we'll talk about next week here, because the syllabus has that all, and they're not gonna go look at the syllabus.
Right.
So if you share just those sections of the syllabus, then they can kind of prepare and see what parts of that they wanna help you with.
That's a good to add. Yeah, thanks.
And actually, I do email the mentors and tell them, this is what we talked about this week, this is what they should be working on, this is what we'll talk about next week. But like Anna said, I think it's always good for them to hear from you, because obviously it's more about how it's applying to you.
Yeah.
And like what you guys talked about and how this applies to you and where you'd really like to go. And definitely you guys should be the ones setting the agenda to make sure that you guys are getting out of it. Because they're just there to help, but they need to hear from you how it is that you need help.
Hey, Jess, can I kind of build on that a little bit? Sure. The mentors are your tools, okay? They work for you. It's your job to go out there and get something from them. And they're there to help you, and they want to help you. But your job is not to please them or do whatever they want. It's the opposite role. Where you need help with this, with whatever it is, go ask them. This is what I need you to do for me. And take the lead in it. And this is different from being in regular school where you're trying to make the professor happy or whatever. This is you doing your business. And if it's helping your business, get these people to help you. And they will. But you gotta ask them. And you gotta take control of it. Having an agenda is the perfect thing. Asking those questions and you leading that discussion is super important. Good job with that.
Thank you.
And I've definitely coached the mentors the same as I'll tell you, is they know that this is your business and they're not gonna push you. I mean, they really shouldn't be pushing you to do anything that's like, they're not gonna work harder than you are, so they're only gonna match you. Any concerns, any questions, anything coming up? We're like getting into kind of like this part where like we're not really in the honeymoon anymore. We're kind of like really having to struggle to get here. This is not really all that exciting and fun anymore. And maybe it is, but yeah.
Nothing about the
to mentors, just think of us like Google, and then search us for what you need out of us, you know? Because there's lots of things I could tell you could do with your business, but then it's not coming from you, right? So when you're working your business and trying to figure out things, we're here to give you the benefit of our experience, and so it's kind of like searching Google.
And I'll also
Pick
note
my
that
brain on some marketing stuff over there.
all of the mentors have said, yes, we will mentor the program. If you see another, so all of their bios are in that folder in the Google Drive. If you see another mentor that you think could really help out, just let me know. And they would most likely, 99.9% of the time, will be like, absolutely, totally, like, connect me. So if you see somebody else in that mentor network that you would like to talk to because they have really great expertise in a certain thing, or you'd like to ask them a certain question or anything like that, then they are open to that. So really, like Russ said, this is like a pretty significant resource. This is probably like, the mentors in the sessions are probably half like the most significant resources you guys have here. So I just want to be sure that you guys are really capitalizing and taking advantage of that resource.
That's my one comment is, this is an opportunity for you to drain their brain and get valuable consulting, essentially, for free. So, you know, the fact that you have trouble getting together with them, that's your loss, that's not the mentor's loss. This is an opportunity, you have this small window of opportunity when you're in this sort of a program where, you know, it's like, tell me everything you know about this, why am I not working this way? And really go after it, right? Because they have huge resources, and you want to tap into them. But, you know, they're not gonna say, oh, here, let me help you do this. Right, it's all gonna come from your end. So the faster you go, the more they'll help you. So.
I think probably one of the biggest frustrations that our mentors have had, which probably applies to the people who are not in this room right now, is motivation. They come here and they're super pumped, and then like we get this like sort of lack of motivation or like kind of lackluster, and they're just like, well, okay then, I've got like 100,000 other things to go do. So I would say probably anybody in this room may not really do that. It's probably all the people that are not in this room. But that's something that they're really willing to be there for you. So I think we're taking advantage of that. So I think before we get started on updates though, I will probably just want to introduce Natalie. Are you okay just to like talk to us right now, Natalie? Oh, sure. So Natalie, speaking of mentors, so Natalie is one of our mentors and has been for a couple of years. Also, Natalie is a co-organizer for the 1 Million Cups events that we do here in Fort Collins. So she was just going to give you like a quick, you know, kind of couple minutes. Yeah. And you got to talk New Tech as well. Yeah, could do that. Okay. And also the New Tech meetups here in town too. So as you guys all know, that is one of our program requirements, that you guys do at least one pitch to some community group one time during the semester. That's a pretty limited requirement. It's like, I would hope that you guys would really like do those and go see other people and try to pitch in other forums as much as you possibly can, because it's going to give you a lot of different feedback when you get in this room. Yeah, next.
Actually, Russ can also add into whatever another 1 Million Cups. So if you haven't heard of that, so the 1 Million Cups is a meetup. You all know what meetups are. This one is sponsored, say in brackets, because it just has a name behind, which is called the Kaufman Foundation, based in Kansas City. So this is sponsoring in the sense they launched this initiative a few years back to have different cities around the country create chapters of 1 Million Cups. So it's fairly flexible. What we can do, but they have a certain number of of rules. One of them being that it can only be held on Wednesdays from 9 to 10. So everywhere around the nation that there's a meetup at 1 Million Cups is going to be Wednesday mornings from 9 to 10. So that's one thing. The other thing is they have some sort of network with other communities, but essentially each chapter of 1 Million Cups runs it the way they want. It's a place for entrepreneurs, for organizations, for local community projects to come and essentially present their projects. So it can be very formal or it can be very informal. We'd like it to be informal, but it's also a way for entrepreneurs entrepreneurs or startups like yourselves to come in and practice pitching for your companies. So generally, so it's an hour. There's generally 2 presenters per session. Each gets half an hour, not half an hour of pitching, but half an hour. Within that half an hour, there's about 6 to 8 minutes of pitching, and the rest of it is QA. And the reason, and what we ask when you do your pitching is when you come in, is you have an idea what you're going to be asking from the crowd. And that's very important because the people who sit in the audience are very varied from the community. They come in, there's some people who come regularly, others just come in once in a while. Sometimes they don't know who's going to be talking, but they generally have extremely invaluable feedback and constructive discussions. But if you don't ask, you don't say anything, then, it might be just very open and not very useful questions. So you want to be sure what you're asking, which could be, not too open a question, is this a good idea? Because you don't want them to say, no, it's a crappy idea. they may, but it might take a little while. So you just have to think about, how you present your project. And what we've had in the past is we've had people come in and then they come again, several months later after they've taken the feedback, they've grown their company, or they've changed a little bit the orientation, and they come back with different feedback. So in your cases, what we've done, and Mark has it, is sort of the schedule, since it's part of your program. We figured probably just like up to end of November. I mean, there's like 10, 12 of you. So to try, so you sign in, you put your name, so what Wednesday you want to come in. Generally, if you bring your laptop, there's a plug-in, and then it's a location for you to present where you're at to a different crowd than what you do here. Russ attends just about every week, almost.
You weren't there last week.
No, that's right. I know. I wasn't there when you presented. I know, but unfortunately, you can't always be there. But so depending on who's there, so typically, backgrounds and people will ask you questions that are specific. So again, you have your you may or may not have slides. That's up to you. But remember that 6 to 8 minutes without slides, if you're not experienced, can be very difficult. You also don't want to have 30 slides in 8 minutes. So you have to balance that. And then any time after that you want to use that instance because you're going into a competition, whatever it is, you let us know, and then we'll plug you in for another practice. We did that last year. Some of the groups came in several times. We were throughout the year also looking at the competition. So various other things. So there's 4 of us who are organizers, but again, it doesn't. It's not a very strict position. Just means that we do schedule and we're in contact with you to get you prepared. We can also, if it makes it easier for you, if you want to have a practice pitch before the session, that we, amongst ourselves, we try to at least one of us be available, on Friday or Monday afternoon or whatever, and say, hey, I'd like to practice a little bit and see whether that makes sense. Okay? Questions? Yeah.
So it's a 6 to 8 minute presentation with slides. Do they have a requirement on how many slides you can use?
No, it's really up to you. But again, as a general rule, remember, 6 to 8 minutes, it's long and not long. You don't want to have too much on your slide. But generally, as you're going to say, what is the problem I'm solving? Here's where I'm at. Eventually, because if you're going to do this in December, you may not be very invested project. Here's what we're going to do, and here's my app, and an overview of the market. These kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So we're we could probably send you some decks from previous people, but generally it's essentially what you want to be presented, mm-hmm. And to as clear as you can. And the other thing that often people do is you have your 5, 6 slides, and you can have other ones as backups as an appendix. If somebody asks a question, say, well, I didn't present a slide, but I have one as a backup. If you want, let's look at it, and here is the answer to your question. So that you have your stuff, but you don't necessarily want to go. For example, if you have slide with numbers, you may not want to, have too much of that right away. We're not, there's not, it's not, it could be investors in the crowd, but generally that's not the intent. But if there are investors in the crowd, they could also ask you a question that will help you in refining your pitch. Okay.
I'd also encourage everybody to go and see it
that's
once
right. Yeah.
beforehand. See what the format is, just get a feel for it, know what, It's not as scary the second.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it's totally, I mean, we want it informal, we serve coffee. It's, there's nothing to be scared about, on the contrary, it should be used as a place where you can, people are just friendly and trying to help more than, than anything else. And you could also make contacts, obviously, it's a way to network as well for your company. You might find other people there who have ideas, we're not the mentors that you used to work with. As what I said, yeah, if you can, any Wednesday from 9 to 10, or even if you can only come out, half an hour. What I omitted to say, by the way, is it's held at Galvanize, in Old Town, on Linden Street, in the HPH Park. The new tech, quickly, so the new tech meetings, that's another meetup. So they exist in Boulder, Denver, Colorado Springs, Longmont, and Fort Collins. So that's on a rotation basis. Generally, on Tuesdays, except the one in Longmont, which was added after, that was on Wednesday, because it's on Tuesdays. So Fort Collins is generally the second Tuesday of the month. We've restructured these a little bit this year, whereas last year was a little bit similar to Millennium Cup, but it was in the evening with pitching and different types of companies, with sometimes the same ones. This year we try to do it with themes. Depending on the month, we'll try to have a certain theme like either business or education or other things. So we can accommodate if any of you want to also use that venue. We can do that as well and try to say, okay, it makes sense. There's 2 or 3 companies that are in similar areas. Let's do an evening where we're going to be talking about that. We have sometimes it's panels now, sometimes it's discussions, and sometimes it's pitching. So the format has changed a bit, but they will be in the spring as sort of a Shark Tank type of session as well that we're going to be organizing. So that's Tuesday nights, second Tuesday of the month from 6 to 8, also at Gavin. So there is beer. But same thing. Let us know. Same thing. I'm in the kind of run up of people trying, organizing, or at least trying to submit ideas as to when we can present. So the last month, for example, we had Pat Burns, who's the CIO of CSU, come and talk about initiatives, education, what they're doing at CSU. So this could also be a place for you to come and listen and see what's happening, in the community and different themes. See people get ideas, and then you can organize to have this Tuesday. Okay.
Would this be a place that these guys could go to try to find, say, technical founders and
Yeah.
technical aspects?
Yes, we could as well. Because the crowd that attends these is much more geeky, if I can put it this way, if you've been there. And so there's a lot of people who are either in the galvanized programs or outside. There's people who do look for co-founders. Others are saying, I'm ready to be, or CTO, whatever. So yes, it is definitely a place where if you're looking for that type of profile, that makes sense. The same way that, makes sense to do the innovation after hours also sometimes on Thursdays in the sphere. I have been to the Boulder New Tech. I don't know whether they've changed the format. That was very, very geeky last year. Longmonts generally have presentations of different companies from the area. A lot of people attending, so same thing is super interesting. It gives you a lot of ideas, lots of people to meet, lots of potential resources, possibly people who could be helping you in certain areas. So I would really encourage you to go to Longmont. Is Wednesdays. Okay. Nice.
Yep. So the next step is going to be these guys need to sign up on the.
Yeah. So Mari has they can. Yeah, so ideally there's a website for I'll send you the link. When there's local, you submit an application. You don't have to fill in all of the space. As long as we have your name, the name of your company, and your contacts, then we can formulate a program. And the other thing you can do is we have a worksheet that I sent to Mark. You can at least already fill that on in Excel, and then we can see about how to recreate that for you on the website.
How many weeks out are you booked?
It's really super variable. There are times where we have like 5-6 weeks ahead planned, and then other times, we're looking for people desperately. So now we have this week is booked. Next week we only have one person. The week after, we have John Morris coming in for a workshop, so we're looking more than now. Okay. More complicated to move around, so when he comes. And then we're open after the 12th by the 19th. So then we're open, and then sometimes we have people say, hey, I wanna, come in, so.
Okay, just so these
Yeah.
guys know that.
That's right, yeah, so, anytime I said the problem.
Keep going, there's space, but go fast.
That's right, exactly, yeah, then it starts to, we know we have a few people who wanna come at the end of the year, who already told, they haven't given us a date, but we know they'll be coming, and after really. If we need to fit 3, we did last year, I think, for sometimes for the groups we did, but then it's a little speedy. Yeah.
So I guess I would definitely suggest that you guys like start to use that resource now as you can, especially if you're really at a point where you feel like you can really talk about this. It's a really great way, and sometimes the request just could be just that, yeah, just let me know what you think. What do you think about this as a revenue model? What do you think about this as like, can I actually make a solar powered autoclave? Like just, there's a lot of times you can just get a lot of feedback that way in a lot of times, just like we do in our updates here. So. And we will send that out. Yes, by we I mean Mark. Okay, cool. All right, Labor Jack, you guys ready for your updates?
Sweet.
Let's go.
Woo.
Woo. Like your energy, like.
Oh, thank you.
It's coming. Zing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that.
Alright, should we start with the elevator pitch?
Yeah, go for it.
LaborJack's a really cool third-party labor matching service. We've got an online platform that connects able-bodied college students to people who are needing labor. What we found is a real niche in the moving industry where people can rent their own trucks and use our labor to get their job done. And we're saving customers 60 to 70% on average over what the traditional moving companies cost. So we really get ahead with that.
So thus far, we've completed 14 customer interviews, as well as 6 contractor interviews. We expect these numbers to grow very largely, with potentially a landing page, new advertising channels, outbound communication with Yelp. We haven't really been advertising at all because we need more help with the legal aspect of things and getting our contracts with people who will be working for us, as well as like the legal remedies associated with performing jobs for people. We just want to make sure we're covered in insurance before we continue the jobs. And value proposition stays the same from last time. Connecting able bodies to customers, demanding accessible, reliable, and affordable labor solutions. So to continue testing the market, like I said, we want to ensure that all our legal remedies are satisfied, so that we've felt that we've kind of been lucky thus far to not have any complications.
We got a little scared. So we toned it back a little bit.
And we also, we really want to find who it is that wants to use our service that doesn't know about how to access it. Everybody who's contacted us has been through our advertising on Facebook and through word of mouth and advertising on Craigslist. So who do we interview? I know we can set up a little booth on campus and interview college students. And, our preconceived notion is that almost 100% of young and able-bodied male college students would be more than happy to aid people at aid our moving company at $12 an hour. But where do we find those customers, and how do we boost our technology to make that revolution? So yeah, that's the next part. Website. We are also in the process of trying to get our domain and hosting just drawing out what exactly is it we want our website to look like. So by Thursday, me, Cody, and Blake will all have full detailed descriptions and pictures drawn out of what we want our website to look like. Other insights, what defines us, what specifically makes LaborJack different? Is it our unique hiring process, use of tech, affordability, reliability, customer service? We want it to be all of the above, but we just need to narrow that focus and really see what defines us and makes us different. Payment, what do we charge? We talked about that actually with Russ last time, because with the rates we're charging, it's gonna we're gonna have to have tons of jobs booked for us to make and sort of living off that. And our minimum viable product right now is just our micromanagement strategy, which isn't that efficient. It worked all summer long, and it's worked somewhat this semester, but obviously needs improvement. And our goal is to automate our current strategy through use of tech. Competitors, I just found this interesting and somewhat scary because Dolly, I don't know, I was in San Diego this weekend and I saw an ad for this application to request, hire, and schedule on-demand review laborers.
Alright, back, questions?
Something you guys could look into, something I'm doing to differentiate yourself from competitors is look up like reviews of that business. And so like you can go on like Glassdoor. I just looked up TaskRabbit, which is sort of in your space, and there's a bunch of people saying some terrible things about it. It has like a 2.5 star rating. And so maybe you can just try to analyze that and say, hey, these are the two most common things out of it, and that could be your positioning.
Is your fear with people sending them into someone's home?
No, a big concern is just liability for our workers.
So sending someone into a person's home?
Yeah. Well, so yeah, they're for what we would be liable for, failure time, some kind of stuff.
So it's not the tax implications for you sending an employee in, it's whether that person gets hurt on your time.
I think it's all the above. We're really lost when it comes to like the accounting, tax, and liability side.
And I'm not too worried about the liability when we've got that pretty much done.
If it isn't redundant, why not use a body shop to get the word out? So you're gonna go hire some people from Labor Ready, whatever one of those body shops is called, where they take care of all of those costs. You just feed them a number. So if you got 10 people and they charge you $10 an hour, you're on $100, you know that fixed cost.
Okay.
They take care of all the liabilities. Your customer doesn't have to know that.
Yeah.
But it's just
Yes,
it's
well-
a cheap way of you doing a service for low tax implications. So it sounds redundant because you're going out to a service that